Hello, my name is Hozen from Maestro Guitars, and I'm here to show you how to restring an acoustic guitar. So first thing what we need is strings. So at Maestro Guitars, we use Elixir strings, HD Lights Phosphor Bronze 1353. So this is the string of our choice. And of course, I would suggest that you get a polished cloth. You know, as we remove the strings, you might want to clean up the guitar a bit. Okay, different kind of pliers. A 10mm wrench. That's where we're going to tighten the tuning pegs. A string winder. Most of the string winder actually comes with a very useful feature that we can remove the bridge pin as well. But we use this at the workshop. There's a lot of restringing video online, but I'm going to show you how we restring the instruments at the workshop. So the first thing, it's one thing that we have to avoid when it comes to this is we do not just cut the strings. Because right now there's about 70 kilograms of load on the whole system. The last thing we want is the sudden release of pressure. Everything it's sudden. The guitar is built to sustain a 70 kg of load. So if we remove the whole 70 kg of load gradually, it will not bring a shock to the system. Likewise, humidity, if there's sudden change of temperature or sudden change of humidity, it will cause damage to the instrument as well. So that's something that we have to bear in mind, something that we have to avoid. Alright, with that, let's speed up. So right now the strings tensions are loose. We've loosened all the string tension. We would like to take out the bridge pins. So this is what I use to take out the bridge pin. This is what we do at the workshop. So we gradually just lift it up. Or if you don't want to use this, you can actually get something like that. That's a winder. You can also just use this and lift it up. Okay. Do position the bridge pins. The bridge pins that we use, they are made of ebony or bone most of the time. So each of them are actually sort of customized for the specific strings that we are at. So so we don't want to mix them up. Over here, you might want to be a bit more careful when you're removing the strings. They might snap back and hit your hand. Just want to be a bit more careful as you unwind it. Right now, you have removed the strings. Just want to coil them up and so that it makes it easier for disposal. So what's next? Okay, let's clean up the instrument. And what we use at the workshop here, we like to use a Zippo. That's a lighter fluid, or naphtha for that. And a non-silicone based wax. Okay, it can be turtle wax, it can be any brand, but just make sure it's non-silicone. And we do use the fret butter as well at the workshop. If the frets are tarnished, the fingerboard is dirty, that's what we use. And we can always keep this back so that we can use it next time. And we take a clean cloth, right, to clean off the excess. One thing I like about the fret butter, it not only just cleans the rusty frets away, but it also cleans the fretboard and at the same time gives it this essential oil. So then you might also want to clean this part, because this is a part which the strings are blocking. It's not so easy to clean. It's a bit of wax. Clean it with a cloth, a clean cloth. You have to make sure the cloth is clean. There's another part we like to clean, and that's right here, the headstock. And the next thing we want to move in, it's with our 10mm wrench. Okay, we're going to tighten all these nuts here, every one of them, okay, so that they stay in tune. Just a small snap adjustment will do. Don't over tighten it. So after this is done, we are ready to put on the strings. So what will happen is I'll put on the strings first, and then how we tie a knot here and how we string up both slotted and non-slotted. Now we're going to string up the guitar. Okay, get it. Get strings. Got to put back the right bridge pin at the right hole. You can press down on the bridge pin and pull up. So make sure it's locked in place. Okay, before we just continue the rest of the strings. Kind of you feel it when you pull up the strings and the ball end sits on the bridge plate. That's what we want. We want the ball end to sit directly on the bridge plate. So how much slack? You know, that's the question right now. So what we do here, we do one string post up. Alright, so that's how much slack we want. Okay. Okay. Put it back one string, and then I will just turn it in and create a niche here. Okay, so it's bent. So what we want is we want the winding to be going down, not up. Okay, so that creates a sufficient break angle at the nut. Always use your hand to guide the string. You know, always trying to maintain a certain tension on it so that it doesn't come out. You should be controlling the string. Okay. Enough tension. So down here, what we like to do is we like to cut it. Do not cut the wrong string. So we'll do the same for the rest of the strings. Same here for this string. Up, push back one, then lock it in place. Of course, if you want to cut it first, it's also possible, but that's not what we do at the workshop here. This string, there's no more post up here, so how? You've got to imagine there's one more post up here. So that's how much slack we're going to maintain it. Right. And then we're going to same, bend it in. So down here it's the same. One string, imagine one string pulls up, pull it back. This time around, we bend it inside here. It's always towards the inside. Okay, string it up. For E strings, the thinner strings, okay, you can maybe give it 1.5 more, so that there's a little bit more wounding along the tuners. The more wounding, the more stable the tune is. I mean, so that's something that we want. Alright, now the strings are on. Now we have tuned up the instruments, okay? And right now with new strings, I mean, it will still take a while before they stabilize. So you have to keep tuning up and down for the next few days until the strings are in place. Right, so now I'm going to show you how we do at the workshop the slotted headstock that I have here. Go here and put the strings in. It's a lock. You know what we want is the lock. And then down here, this is a thicker string, so we want a bit less winding. So it's kind of like about a string post back here. It's about the length enough. So something like that. It's enough. So I want to bend it here. get a kink here. Now we do this with a hexagon core strings like Elixirs. If it's a round strings, forget about it. Just string it through and just tighten it. They will slip. They can't really maintain this. So we cut around around 1 cm. Something like that. And then I put it in. And then we tune up. Okay, as we tune up this E string, all the E strings basically, this E and this E string, we want to move 1 round on the outside before we go in the inside. Always keep your hand in control of the strings. 1 round on the outside. Then I move inside. Usually we do it with the machine, but I want to show you that's how we do it. Make sure they don't overlap each other. The rest of the subsequent wounds will all be inside. So same. This is the second string, the 5th string basically. Okay, want to lock it in place. And we want to go. This is where it will go. This is how much slam. Okay, this is where it will go. And I want it around 2 tuners up. So just kink it somewhere here. For this one, it's a little bit different. We want it on the inside. So the first one will be on the inside, and then we go to the outside. You can see that. The subsequent rounds will all be on the outside. I think the main thing is making them neat so that they don't coil on top of each other. We want a really nice, neat. For this, it will be the same, but we just need to imagine 2 posts on top and we cut it. So you'll still be the same, you know, inside and outside. It's same for the D string, G string, and the B string will all be the same. Alright, so we've done with these 3 strings and we're going to move on with the 6. Next 3 strings. The step is the same. I want to move on from the E, you know, slowly to the G. The reason why is because you can see how they overlap here, so that this is the way that we can prevent them from touching the headstock here and prevent them from the string from scratching the top of the head pack. Okay, this is the high E. Alright, what we have the high E here, we want to give it a little bit more curls around the pack head. So instead of what we did for 1 here, you know, do 1, 2, and maybe a little bit more. So that's how much I'm going to put it on. Same, bend it and cut it about 1 cm. Alright. Remember, for all the E strings, it's always outside first, then inside. So this is outside now. We want all the windings to be from the inside from now. Okay. And then the rest of the strings. Alright, now we're done with the restringing of the slotted headstock. So what you can see, this is the final result that we want. Okay, the strings are not touching any of the pole. Alright, thank you very much.